Hey guys, welcome back to Astral Diaries. If you're new to this channel, just kind of running into it, well, if you're a subscriber, you've been following, then you're familiar with the channel. But if you're new, this channel, Astral Diaries, is dedicated to astral projection experiences. It's only about 2 months old. So far, decent support. It's growing at a steady pace. It was started as a way of just kind of documenting mainly astral projections, as well as some lucid dreams, because they're kind of like sisters. And with no intention of that was it. But so far the channel has gotten enough traction where the platform is running ads. Of course, I don't see a dime of those. I don't see a penny. So there are ways to support the channel currently, mainly from the book that I've been recommending for the last 2 months. But I finally managed to get an Amazon link for it. And then there's also Buy Me Coffee. If you're somebody in a position financially willing to support this type of work, then that option is for you now. So an experience happened last night. I had no intention of doing a video, which I want to share. Every experience I share, there's also tips. So if you're looking for some free tips on astral projections, this could be a good channel for you. And another video, which I have not posted yet, I said that I want to kind of change it up for you guys, because I did a lot of these stories in my neighborhood where I project, which was nice. But sometimes it's nice to kind of change it up. So in my last couple of videos, like this one, we're kind of walking by a nice church here, and then there's a nice little park. So this is where I'm going to share this experience with you guys. There's reasons why I want to share it with you guys. There's some lessons to be learned from me and for you guys. So let's kind of dive in. Again, I'm wearing a backpack. If I jerk the screen, I notice I jerked the screen so many times in because the backpack keeps slipping from my shoulder, and I have to kind of keep adjusting it, and then the phone was keep doing this. So I apologize for that. So yeah, the experience happened last night. The reason I want to share this is because multiple things. One, how I got to the experience. So if you followed my channel, I guess I'm one of those lucky ones. When I learned the astral projection back as a teenager, and then I put it off for I want to say 10, 15, but more like 20 years looking back. Getting back at it was just having the will, man. I know there's books, techniques, workshops, and the last 2 months I kind of try to get kind of technique-y, my main go-to guy has been Buhlman. I got his book in early 2000s. And then I kind of try to mix it up lately. I looked up to Michael Raduga. Here I am, moving my backpack. So I did some of his techniques. In fact, I kind of combined his techniques with Williams. Williams really good with affirmations and stuff like that. And it worked for me, but then I want to say it wasn't working for me. So the one point I want to make with this upload was last night, before I went to bed, I kind of put all the techniques off. Just put them out the door, just no techniques, and went with my old school approach, which is just having the will, the intention to have it, an astral projection, and then remembering it. And I was so at peace. I didn't have to do all these techniques in my head. I just kind of went to bed, and I knew, I was almost 100% sure I was going to have one, and I did. So that's the one point I want to make, just kind of putting all techniques aside. It just relaxed me, man. I was just kind of relaxed. I didn't have to do any techniques, and I knew something was going to happen, and something did happen. The other thing I want to say was, there's a little family of geese. I don't know if you guys can see it. So, man, I lost my train of thought now. Putting techniques aside. Yeah, that's what the geese did. It made me lose my train of thought. That's one of the main thing I want to do. The other thing I want to do was, not all not every experience is like a smooth sailing, So some of them are kind of, especially the last couple ones that I've been sharing. I'm noticing these more because what happened was when I would have these kind of experience, I wouldn't think too much about it. I'm like, okay, it's the one that didn't go well. It wasn't like a smooth rollout, fly out of the window and see some cool things or complete some tasks. But now as I'm trying to documenting them, I'm kind of noticing that I have quite a bit of these, you know, when it's not a smooth sailing. This bench has some memories, especially after COVID. After all the lockdowns and stuff, this is where I actually, with a friend, we met here, and for the first time, I became within 6 feet of somebody. We were sitting in this bench, and it was weird, just like touching her and holding her hands. It was like really weird because it was like, you know, after that, all that, you know, the social distancing and stuff like that. So that's kind of reminded me of here. Let me sit down here a little bit. So yeah, as far as the experience goes, I just had the intention to have it. And what I was just gonna say, I gotta stay on track here. As far as smooth sailing, not all of them go smooth. And this was one of them, but lessons to be learned. So I went to bed with the intention of having an experience. And as someone who knows when it happens and then knows what to do, I usually catch myself. So I went to bed with the intention, and then this is where the experience starts. So I find myself in that separation state. I wasn't really necessarily feeling any vibration or anything, but I was kind of facing like on my stomach, basically, not on the side, not on the back. And this is one of the most difficult positions to roll out or float out, because you're in a weird position. And what happened was, I knew I'm in the beginning of an experience, and when I would want to roll, it was like as though I was trying to roll the whole bed with me. It was so, I was just stuck. Like I try to roll, I just couldn't. And then finally, I managed to roll. And the other thing I want to share right here is another one, the reason I want to share this experience. About a week ago, I did a demonstration for you guys, which I'll put in the description, where I actually physically rolled out of my bed just to kind of show you guys how it looks and feels. And in the process, I did hit the ground and kind of hurt myself. My chin. I thought I hit it in a nightstand, but I hit it on the floor. And this kind of goes back to the fear of astral projection. I did a series on where what you should not fear but concern is if you ever roll physically instead of in your astral body and then hit your body and potentially hit yourself. I did a whole series on it. I can put it in the description. So yeah, I did kind of hurt myself, and I was kind of worried about if this is gonna kind of mess me up in the future, if I'm gonna in the back of my mind have some type of concern, fear about the rollout method after I did that to myself physically. And the good news is I've already made the adjustment. So my astral body, whatever you want to call it, handled this so perfectly, man. So when I rolled, my astral body, first of all, when I roll, I'm kind of in a slow motion. That's one thing I noticed. My astral body just reached with one hand and slowly, gently put me on the floor. This was like the most gentle rollout. And the crazy thing is that I was like so concerned about like, what if this becomes a thing for me going forward because of the experience I had physically. The only time I rolled physically, by the way, it was one time, and I caught myself in the feet. But this time, because when I did the demo, I had the phone holding in my hand, which is why I couldn't catch myself. But the point I'm trying to make is my astral body knew what to do. It put me down as gently as possible. I hit the floor, well, softly, which was pretty cool. Now there is the time to fly away and exit, right? So this is what I normally do. So the window that I want to exit from, I'm trying very hard. You gotta admit, this kind of took me a while to roll out and then slowly hit the floor. And the window that I want to exit from, all of a sudden my vision just went dark. I couldn't see. And I took another technique from Buhlman where he said, say clarity now, clarity now. This has pretty much worked for me every time, but it didn't work this time. But I kind of floated and shoved my way through where I know the window is, and just kind of shoved myself through. Next thing I know, I was on the this is a 3-story building, so I was on the ground. So I made it out, and by this time I kind of lost control of the experience. I want to say that it wasn't as vivid anymore, and part of it is because of how long it took to exit, because I had a hard time exiting. And at least I did one other task. One of the tasks I've been having was, I've already taken one of my cars for a ride during the experience. I literally went in the garage, got in it, opened the garage, and just took it out, took it for a fly, took it for a ride. But I have a second car that's usually parked right outside where I live, and I can see it from the window. So once I was out, I was like, well, why don't I do this? I got into that car, and I barely drove it, just a little bit. Oh, those little baby ducks. So I drove the car a little bit, and it didn't feel as amazing as when I drove my other. This is an older car, so it didn't feel as amazing, because the other car I flew it around, took it on a nice road. It was a pretty long-lasting experience. I had my hands on the wheel, and if you're touching something in Astral, that usually extends the experience, and this wasn't like that. So just to recap, that was the whole experience. Putting all the techniques aside, just having the will to exit worked beautifully. My concern of what if I hit the floor, because when I did it physically I kind of hurt myself. The astral body knew exactly what to do, put me down as gently as possible. And then getting in my car was something that was kind of on my list, not on top of my list. I mean, I've done other things like verify numbers, try to verify numbers and stuff like that in my previous experiences. See deceased relatives. So I've actually 2 deceased relatives. There's another one that I want to share in another video, but I think I kind of want to wrap it up here. Again, if you're new to this channel, you're interested in astral projection, please like, subscribe. I do try to share a lot of techniques kind of with my experiences, and I'm kind of fine-tuning what works for me, and then maybe try to teach it to at least one person, and then kind of see if that works for them too, and then take it from there. But please like, subscribe, and if you want to support the channel, currently there are 2 ways. You can get the book by Buhlman, which I've been recommending. This book is full of stories, affirmations, almost like a little troubleshoot section, like on a car manual. If this happens, do this. This happens, do this. The middle gets a little bit too out there. It talks about different dimensions and stuff like that, a little bit too out there, but the beginning and the end are the better parts of the book. And then buy me coffee is another option if you're financially positioned, you want to support this type of work, because like I said, ads are being run from through the videos where I don't see a dime, which is kind of, the creator, I guess the channel is not good enough for the creator, but it is good for somebody else. It kind of, I don't know, it doesn't sit well. That's it for today, guys.